botanical garden. Spilled some kale seeds out here and bam, them joints just popped up like all get out, man. I mean, just call it, kale was busting everywhere. Now here lately, something's been eating the devil out of them, man. And sprayed them down, put some DE on them, and still it's just wreaking havoc. So I don't know, plus it's about to get real hot, so everything's probably gonna die back. And see the stupid little moth over there that'll lay some eggs. That's part of my problem right there. And then I got my potato box. These is red potatoes. That also was an accident, in that I set the potatoes in the box, went to go do something, completely forgot about them, and 2 weeks later they started sprouting up. So I just covered them with dirt and just let them do their thing. So red potatoes. That was a fish pond. That was a fish pond. Now it's a potato box. And then is my rest of my row of containers here, and I have sweet potatoes. I just added a layer of soil, kind of like a healing method. They started growing up, and then I added another layer, and then added another layer, and just recently added a layer of topsoil. Sweet potatoes. Ginger. I didn't think it was going to do good, but this is some ginger I propagated from a store, piece of ginger from the store, but it's starting to pop up, man. It's I want to have ginger. Eventually I'm gonna do turmeric as well. So sweet potatoes, ginger. Post box right here. I was gonna fill it, then I had too much stuff going on. I was like, this would be my fall box. Made of 100% scrap wood. So what you don't know is that you go to construction sites, most construction sites, they have just a plethora of leftover just scrap pieces. Some good, some not so good. But if you ask them, most of the time they'll let you take that stuff because it's just gonna go to the scrap yard. And so what I ended up doing is just got a bunch of wood, 2x4s, 2x6s, and you know, I had to mix and match and, you know, kind of play the puzzle game, but it worked out. And this is my 4th box, and I don't know what I'm gonna put in it yet. But for now, I've actually just been composting. The bottom layer I did wood. Instead of doing logs, I just did like pieces of scrap 2x4s and chunks of scrap wood. Because I had it, and then I'm kind of leery about using logs, scrap logs, decaying logs, because they could have beetles in them and all kinds of pests in them. But the 2x4s untreated, I know they'll rot real easy because they're untreated, especially they get moist, and then I know they ain't got pests in them. So then I just been putting cardboard, paper bags, grass clippings, mulch, leaves, whatever I got left over basically goes into this bag. So here's my part 2 of my garden tour, end of May garden tour. So this is the front. Used to be a flower bed area full of these ornamental bushes. But essentially I took out all of those ornamental bushes and kind of rearranged everything. So right here, just built a little frame around it just to kind of contain my mint, so it doesn't get too crazy. But I have chocolate mint, I have stevia, and then right here I got pineapple sage. Of course it's getting kind of hot, so it started to die back. And I got a Myers lemon, and then I got a lime right there. Those are just bought this season. And I got a grapevine that I bought last season. I thought it was dead, but it's actually starting to come back. No clusters yet. Might have to do some pruning and trimming, but I think it's going to be okay. Then I have my strawberry patch. Initially they were in containers, but the roots were choking out. So I took them out and planted them into the ground. And they're not, some of them are doing good. Some of them are kind of not doing as good. Some of them are kind of wilting. It's just, I think it's just because it's just getting too hot. But so there goes my strawberry patch. There goes my red air mint. This is actually a volunteer. My volunteer red air mint. And then, like I said, there's my strawberries. And I'm trying to survive, keep them to survive through this hot summer. But honestly, I think I'm gonna lose them simply because it's just too hot. Then I got a blueberry right here. Didn't produce as much as I liked. Only got a handful of berries off of, but this is the first season I got it, so Then I got daylilies. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 different daylilies, different colors. I got some chamomile right there. And essentially this garden is going to be kind of my herbal garden, if you will, culinary herbal or medicinal herbal. I got apple mint right there. I got lemon balm, which is kind of struggling because it's getting so hot. And I got some flowers. I'm gonna do some more flowers here. I'm thinking canadulas. I got echinaceas, and then I want to do some more chamomiles. So eventually this is going to be a lot of herbal flowers in this area here. Just, you know, take time. And this is my second blueberry tree, which is healthy. Just didn't do very good. I think it got bit by the frost because it started blooming, then it got cold, and then it kind of killed the blooms off, and I think it just kind of shocked it. And then I got another echinacea, another daylily, and then I got a calamundan orange, another grapevine, and this is a volunteer blackberry that just kind of popped up. So far that's doing actually pretty good. So that right there is just my front yard kind of herbal garden. This area here, another flower bed in the front yard, and I don't know what I'm gonna do with it yet. So because I don't have drip irrigation, it's gonna be too hard to set up irrigation from here to the other side of the house because of the garage. So I'm thinking this is gonna be my succulents and basically anything that's drought tolerant. So I'm thinking yucca, dragon fruit cactus, some of those Hawaiian flowers, can't think of the name of them, plumeros I think, and anything that's kind of drought tolerant. Maybe some Texas sage or Mexican sage. And I've been doing some research, but anything that's drought tolerant is going to essentially go right here. Alright, so this is where I'm going to really need your help, YouTube family. So I have some ideas of what I want to do with this front garden flower bed right here, but I'm still undecided. So if you got any ideas of any type of drought resistant flowers or vegetables or fruits that I can put here, preferably something edible or something I can make a tea out of. Again, hit that comment below and give me some ideas. You need to subscribe now. So what I also end up doing, I put a layer of mulch down to support my cabbage, put a layer of fabric and a layer of mulch. I'm getting ready to harvest these pretty soon. Some bugs getting to them and starting to get hot. And I think they might be a little tough. They might be a little past due. So I'm getting ready to harvest these as well. Make a batch of sauteed cabbage. So this row here is my peppers. Got a purple beauty. I have a purple beauty, red beauty, and then just regular green bell pepper. And then this baby here, doing all right. And I'm gonna probably plant this baby here, doing all right. And I'll probably end up planting one more right here. So I'll probably just end up doing those by seeds. And then I got my onions, green onions and regular onions, all down this row. And this row here, my collard green row, that one's going to seeds. So I'm trying to let it dry up. Yep, see, it's starting to dry. And I believe once it dries, you can actually use those for seeds for next year. First time trying it, so this one is a broccoli or cauliflower, or at least what's left of it. And then I got drip irrigation, actually not drip, but a soaker hose. So what I end up doing is just laying a soaker hose, buried it into the ground. I'm gonna go back through and cover it with some more mulch. Once these collard greens start kind of popping up, which I saw some pop up the other day, but once collard greens start popping up, I'm gonna go ahead and cover it with mulch. And like I said, this box here, landscape timbers, I bought the first layer and second layer and this third layer. Ended up using some of them from fence timbers that I had cut down. And then I just put some poles on it because when it gets hot, I'm going to end up putting my shade cloth and covering up everything with my shade cloth. So that's my first box. There's my in-ground compost bin. Check my video out on that. And I don't know why, but I get all these stupid little snails, or I think those are snails. I don't know what those are. I get tons of those in my garden. I'm gonna have to sprinkle some DE in there. But the good thing is, I think with that newspaper and that compost bin, it appears to actually draw them all out of the soil and into that bin. So I guess that's a good thing. So this right here, this is going to be on my vining plants, which is going to be on the outside of the garden. And what it's going to end up doing, they're going to grow up and actually over the archway, and hopefully provide cover for some of the plants in that box below. But I got an unknown plant there. What's left of my squash, I think the squash vine borers got to it. As you can see, I tried to prevent it with the foil around the base. Then I put a fabric on the bottom, then covered it with mulch, but man, it looks like I was a little too late. The cucumbers are doing really well though. We'll keep it that way. So I'm gonna put some fabric in the bottom of those, and then treat it with some DE, and just, I don't know, see what it do. Well, this squash seems to be doing pretty good. Got the foil on the bottom, cover the soil so to keep them from laying eggs in the soil with fabric here, and then put mulch. And then here's my snow peas. There's my snow peas right there. They're actually doing really good. Starting to climb up, so I'm starting to train them to climb up that trellis right there. And you know, there's my garbanzo beans right here. Garbanzo beans, they're doing good. And I forgot what this was. I think black eyed peas, but it's not coming up yet. But I have some companion planting going on as well. I got the marigolds and these pieces of PVC right next to them. And I got sunflowers down below right there. So the sunflower is going to be kind of like a trap crop. They're going to attract and trap certain bugs. And then the marigolds are going to be a pest repellent as well. So I got these interplanted or companion planted along with my vining plants, hopefully to keep the squash vine borers and moths and beetles and stuff away. And like this is my cattle panel archway that I got from Atwoods. I just basically bent it over and attached it to one end and attached it to the other end. Pretty simple. This is my second box, my newest box. Right now I'm in the process of running some irrigation. I had a bunch of extra leftover irrigation, so I'm just kind of routing it, figuring out how I want it to go. I got my my super sweet 100 tomato plant right here. Got some kale that's been getting destroyed right here. It's been getting destroyed by caterpillars or something, moths or caterpillars or both. Because here's the thing, I found this netting. It was a trampoline netting. I cut it up and made a perfect little shade cloth. And the problem that I came across is that it is kind of like a bug, keeps the bugs off of it. But when the bugs do get in there, because it's not completely closed right here, it kind of acts like a moth terrarium, because they get in there and they cannot get out. I should have thought that through. That sounded like a good idea, but ended up not really being a good idea. So I'm gonna have to come up with another cloth that completely covers it front and back to keep the moths out. But I want something big enough to where my bees and stuff can come in and pollinate on my tomatoes and peppers. So I gotta find something, you know. And with ladybugs, I like those. They're helpers. This box was built with these garden planter box bricks, and then again on a budget I ended up going to the discount section at Lowe's, and they had all this lumber, scrap lumber, distorted, twisted, just random pieces, and I just found some pieces that would work and cut them to what I needed, and I built this box for less than about 20 bucks, with the most expensive thing being the bricks, honestly. And I had reused some old rebar to pound it down in there, and I went with the thinner planks simply because they were cheaper. than the 2x6s. But built this just this year, very inexpensively, and I filled it inexpensively. So I got on the bottom layer, I got scrap pieces of 2x4s. Instead of using logs and branches, again, I don't like using decaying logs because they can have pests inside of them. So I used small branches, pieces of 2x4s, 2x6s, just pieces of wood chunks, wood chips, and scrap pieces of wood, because it was extremely cheap and easy to find. I had a lot of DIY projects, so I had a lot of scrap wood. Then newspaper, cardboard, leaves, mulch, food scraps, coffee grounds, you name it. I did all of that. And then the bottom 3 layers I filled it up with some compost I got from Living Earth. Just bought a yard of compost. So this row is my tomatoes rows, but interplanted I have pepper interplanted right there, because they do really good as a companion planting. This guy here, I need to kind of trim him up and kind of stake him up. He's kind of growing out and not really up, so got some work to do on him. And then there's a pepper, and I'm gonna probably put another basil right here once my other propagations get going. Put another basil there. Basil's been known as a good companion plant because it kind of drives away certain pests, and that tomato's doing really well. And this row is kale, kale, kale. And then finishing out this row with spinach is my lettuce row, but yeah, they're not doing too good. I think it's just might be too warm for them. You know, because right now we're in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. I think it's just too warm for that lettuce to really take off. I planted these as seedlings. I planted those lettuces as seedlings. So there's my other tomato. I just got him out of the cup and transplanted him. We'll see how he does. And there's the rest of my cauliflower. It might be a little too warm for those guys, so we'll see. And then some more lettuce. Yeah, the rest of this is just a different type of lettuce. I believe it's a romaine lettuce, and these are like head lettuces. So this is my second box. And this is my purple ruffle basil and my honeydew melon sage interplanted throughout the garden. And what I'll probably end up doing is putting some nasturtium seeds in there, and I'll probably put a couple marigolds somewhere in the garden as well. Because again, I'm just really all in on this companion planting. And there's some more cauliflower down this row. There's the back side of my tomatoes. So he's doing good. He's doing better. That guy, not so much. That guy, not so much. And then another pepper plant, and I'll probably end up doing another basil somewhere around here, and then a couple marigolds and more nasturtiums on this side right here. And these are the rest of my cabbage. So those aren't quite ready yet to harvest. Getting there, getting pretty close. And there's a lemon basil right there. So I got lemon basil, purple ruffle basil, honeydew melon sage, and I'm gonna try to get some more basil in this garden. This year I'm gonna try to really plant a lot of basil for companion planting to keep a lot of the pests away. Basil and sage. And one thing I don't have is oregano yet.